This short video is on Dash Studio. I'm going to show you how we can use Dash Studio to quickly build a flexible comparison dashboard. And this can be quite useful in many areas, including troubleshooting, testing, and comparing release performance. The dashboard we are building today will be specific to one business application, and we are focusing on business transactions to be the dynamic aspect of this dashboard. So let's start by creating a dashboard variable, and this is what offers us that dynamism and flexibility within Dash Studio. We're going to call this dashboard variable BT, which is short for business transactions. The type, likewise, is business transactions. We're going to select a random business application and a random business transaction, and then we're going to select show in view mode. When we select this, it means that when the dashboard is live, we can utilize the dashboard variable. The first widget we are working with is a time series graph, and the data that we're going to populate into here will be centered around calls per minute, so CPM, short for calls per minute. We're going to select business transactions. Again, we're centering this dashboard around business transactions. Let's select the same business application that we selected when we were creating the dashboard variable. Select named so we can narrow in on our dashboard variable. And here's our dashboard variable available for us. Select that. Select the metric, which is calls per minute. And we also want to measure calls per minute against our baseline. So select baseline and daily trend. Ensure that you select the right baseline here. The purpose of the dashboard, again, is to compare calls per minute and the performance now against a time prior. For that, go to compare time range, select time shift, and let's push this one back 1 week. Now, within the one time series graph, we can see the calls per minute that came in for the checkout business transaction against the calls per minute for the same business transaction, but this time last week. Now we're going to copy and paste this time series graph, Control C, Control V, and we're going to call this time series graph ART, and update the metric from calls per minute to average response time. That was quick and easy. And let's do the same again. Create another time series graph, copy and paste, update the title to BPM, which is errors per minute, and then select errors per minute as the metric. So now, quickly and easily, we were able to create 3 time series graphs, all with different metrics and all comparing the performance or calls per minute now against the calls and performance this time last week. The next widget we are going to add is a metric number. And this is a really good way to see the values behind the metrics. First one I'm going to add here is EPM, which is errors per minute. And let's put a bit of data behind this. So let's select business transactions again. We'll keep it consistent with the purpose of the dashboard. Again, consistency, select e-commerce, which is the business application for the dashboard variable. And here is our dashboard variable, BT. The metric we want to select is errors per minute. And let's select the same time range, which is 1 week. Now, what this gives us is the errors per minute that are occurring now for this last period of time. If we hover over it, it'll give us that value, yes, 4 on the right, but also the 1, what this is giving us is the value of the errors per minute from this time last week. What this is giving us here, it is letting us know that the errors per minute for the checkout business transaction is up 300%. And that means that, or could point us in the direction that maybe a change introduced is having this impact. Again, we can copy and paste. Call this one ART, average response time. Simply and quickly update the metric. Again, it's giving us similar results here. And this one, calls per minute. Okay, so what this is letting us know now is that comparing now against this time last week, the calls are up, the average response time is up, and the errors is up. So what could potentially have happened is a change could have been introduced, which has had this impact. And then you can also put a bit more context behind your dashboards. You can add in your label text. So this is e-commerce. Okay, now we're going to make this live. Click on view. And here's the power of dashboard variables. So this is centered around the checkout business transaction. But look at the flexibility that we have now. We can deselect this and we can select another really meaningful business transaction. So let's go to login. So you can quickly skip from different key areas and fundamental areas that you have identified with your business transactions to flexibly and dynamically be able to measure, understand the performance of change. I hope this short video helps. If you have any questions on what was displayed and talked about within this video, please feel free to reach out to your customer success team. Thank you.